The Village is written and directed by M. Night Shyamalan. It stars Bryce Dallas Howard, Joaquin Phoenix, Adrian Brody, Sigourney Weaver, and it's the first film in his filmography where a lot of people are divided on their opinion on it. A lot of people don't like it, but there are quite a few people who do, and I'm in the second category. The Village is about a small Amish-esque community who lives in an area surrounded by woods where apparently there are these monsters in the woods, and they are told that they can't leave and go into the woods or the monsters will come and attack the village. Our main character, Ivy, played by Bryce Dallas Howard, falls in love with a guy named Lucius, played by Joaquin Phoenix. Everything seems fine at first until her mentally challenged brother, played by Adrian Brody, stabs Lucius, and so she has to travel through the woods to the towns to get medicine to save Lucius's life. Now, much like my science review, I am going to make this a spoiler-filled review. So if you haven't seen The Village, I'll just say right now, check it out. It's a decent movie. Go watch it and then come back and check out my review. The Village is actually the first M. Night film I ever saw in theaters. I saw it way back when I was 12 years old when it came out, and I did enjoy it at the time. I didn't like it as much as Signs, though, of course. But I did enjoy the movie. And one of the things I just want to say right off the bat about this movie is it looks amazing. The cinematography is perfect, and I love the set design. Just perfectly creating this village and this environment. So believable. And just the look of the trees is both ominous and beautiful at the same time. The cinematographer is Roger Deakins, who's a great cinematographer. Look him up. He's done some great work. And he does excellent work here. I love every bit of the cinematography in this movie. It is so well done. It's just top-notch work for this movie. Another thing great about this movie is the acting. Bryce Dallas Howard is great in this. She's a great actress. Adrian Brody's a great actor. I believe he's been nominated for Academy Awards. I'm sure he has. I'm blanking on what he was nominated for, though. I'm sure someone will write it in the comments, and I'll be like, oh, no, duh. But anyway, he's a great actor. Joaquin Phoenix, of course. I really got into these characters. And the love story is pretty well done, too. It's well written. You know, it's believable, which you don't always see. So that was nice that this one's actually a believable love story. So, good job on the writing on that, at least, Shyamalan. I'll get to a couple of the problems, but good job on that aspect. One of the things about this movie, though, is the pacing is a little off. It feels a little too elongated in times. It felt like you could have cut a good 15 minutes out of the movie and not lost anything. They spend way too much time in the village after a little while that it started to get like, okay, can we get to the monsters? Can we get to the woods? Especially revisiting this movie since I've seen it a few times before. So it is kind of like, okay, can we get moving along? Let's go, movie. Now, the trailer for this movie didn't even advertise a love story. It actually advertised that it was this village in the woods, like it is, and there's these creepy monsters in the woods, and it was going to be a little thriller, scary movie. Well, here we go. Guess what? The monsters aren't real. Yeah, there are actually two twists in this movie. The first one is that we find out that there are no monsters, and in fact are just the elders in the village trying to scare people to staying in the village away from the towns. Because they say the towns are full of evil people, and if they go back, they're going to get hurt. So to keep them safe, which isn't a terrible idea for a story, to keep them safe, they're going to create these monsters. That could have worked in a way. It just didn't quite pan out in a good way. They don't really have a whole lot of social commentary on that. They could have, though, and that would have been great. But Shyamalan didn't, so it just seems like a lame plot twist that, oh, look, the monsters aren't real. It's totally safe to go into the woods, actually. Which, come on. It drops all the tension. There are earlier scenes where these monsters are going through the village, and they're supposed to be scary. But going back, I'm just like, I don't care at all, because I know that this is elder whoever, and it doesn't matter, and it's stupid, and it ruins the tension. Now, there is a line in this movie that could have totally saved it if Shyamalan had gone a certain way. There is a line when Bryce Dallas Howard is telling Ivy about this, that the monsters aren't real. He says, there were rumors that monsters lived in the woods, so when they went through the woods to the village, they created these monsters. But it's like, why not make those rumors true then? Especially because we've been hearing sounds from the woods. Something's been making sounds. And there's a deleted scene where you realize that those were man-made sounds. And he does drop a line, but it's so rushed that it's like, what the... It's so rushed. It's just badly done. You can tell he just wanted to get the exposition out. And it just doesn't work at all. And that's a huge, huge problem with this scene. The thing he should have done, though, is make the monsters real. Make it's not just a rumor. They just think it is because they haven't actually seen these monsters. And when she goes in the woods, especially being blind, she'll run into a monster. And another thing is she does run into someone in one of these costumes who's stalking her. Oh, it turns out to be just Adrian Brody, and she easily outmaneuvers him. Now, I wish that twist wasn't even in there. That twist shouldn't have been in there. There should have just been real monsters that she had to avoid going through the woods. Now, the second twist actually does work. That they are actually in modern day. This whole time, we believe that it's the 1800s because of how they're dressed and how they look and all that, and how they talk. But it turns out this is modern day, and the elders of the village are actually from a support group from years and years back who decided that they've been through so much crap and screw humanity, we're going to go live in the woods away from the rest of the world because all the world, to them at least, is evil. Now that's an interesting idea that does kind of work, and if that had been the only twist, I would have totally gone with it. That was awesome. I did like that twist. That worked pretty well. This movie is not bad. It has plenty of good things going for it. The cinematography, the acting is great. And some of the writing is good. It's just that one plot twist just really takes the movie down. However, I am going to give this movie 3.5 out of 5 stars. So if you like this video, check out my reviews of his first 3 theatrical movies. And like, comment, and subscribe. See ya.